Grant, we did it. It's the end of this session. It's the final episode of this 510 cash game session with an Omaha bomb pot, every orbit. Dan Ross getting a little wide here. Maybe he knows we're in the last half hour or so and wants to get rich.
Is this how you get rich? You open Jack 7 off?
I mean, wait, if you know what the flop's coming frickin' 8, 9, 10, it is. And the other guy doesn't have Queen Jack and the board doesn't pair and the flush doesn't come in, yeah. And they have a good second best hand. Anyway, King Deuce Deuce. No one has a good second best hand. No one has anything.
Nobody has a good first best hand.
Yeah. It's the best hand, and it's also a good board to take a shot on.
You don't have shit, man.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Well read. I don't know.
Dan?
Laminator wearing that mask doesn't look like he's smiling, even though the mask is of someone smiling. It looks like, one of those evil clown masks, sort of. It's not great.
I imagine it's supposed to look like that.
It's unsettling.
It's because Nick's not doing it any tequila
Nick's
shot.
not
Isn't it a good thing in poker to make your opponents unsettled?
Yes. Probably. Well, it depends on which. Yeah, I guess it is. Well, wear more of those kinds of masks then, people, because it'll work. I'd be worried about getting stabbed in the neck by someone wearing one of those masks. So, just between us.
Awkward.
Let him tag along, all right, dude.
Take it to Burger King.
The guy has more good stories than I've ever met in a human being.
I know.
Tell a story.
Come on, tell us.
There's no pressure in that sort of statement.
It's better spontaneous.
Dance for us, Jester.
Got a limped pot here. Blind versus blind.
Wait. Do you want to put 100 in and just run it? I have a
And
shooting
I
hand.
don't
I have
think that's a
shooting
thing
hand
we can do. We can't.
Okay, go ahead.
We can't do
It's
that.
not good.
All right, that's fine. No, that's cool.
Come on,
I
San
would,
Diego.
I mean, I have.
Put England, San Diego.
Peace, love, go the fuck back.
Sounds like they're interested in gambling here with that proposal from Chris.
We lost the unity.
Peace, love, back.
Two pair now for Laminator. He bets 50 into 20.
He likes to bet big. We've seen it in the past.
Well, I didn't want
Marty
to do
was
it.
on.
That was definitely big. He's trying to make up for lost value.
They have
But
to. They have no content.
it's often hard to make up for lost value.
It was so bad. I didn't want to do it.
I know.
They're stuck with
But I
Hal.
that's like the only hand where
would've
if I'd looked, I
Banana
would've.
time.
Yeah, I know.
And blood.
I like to
I wonder if we're going to get a lot more action in this last little bit or less. We've seen both in poker time sessions in the past where people will clamp down at the end, and sometimes we'll see people gamble it up. I feel like Todd might be the gamble it up type.
I think we're going to see some gambling here.
Oh my god.
I don't know, but my prediction is pain.
Mention my friend Nick. I include and let me.
I mean, Dan Ross did open that Jack 7 just a little bit ago. That is really not normal for him. And look, now he's another unpaired hand.
Yeah. Equally unpaired.
Unpaired and not suited. I mean, I'm just saying.
Katy Perry, that was her hairstyle at that time.
It's not even a made hand, Grant. It's just a drawing hand.
An homage.
I've
Right.
heard that.
He's losing to Jake Dahl right now,
Very strong.
who's got
homage.
just ducks, baby deuces.
I pity those people.
Baby deuces.
Yeah, not just deuces, baby deuces. Well, baby deuces are now losing. And Dan Ross checks it back. Interesting.
I think overall that's an interesting strategy, but against Jake, I don't know about it because I don't think Jake has taken too many shots, especially this session. We haven't seen Jake taking shots without really kind of having it.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of value in trying to get Jake to bluff. I think it's better to put a bet in on the flop and hope Jake has a second best hand that can continue for at least one street.
My best guess is Dan's checking back not to induce bluffs because I agree with you, and I think he probably knows that about Jake too. Is that he's at least attempting to get two streets of value from medium strength hands that don't have an ace in them but have a little something. And he's afraid that if he bets twice on flop and turn or flop or river, it's harder to do it. I don't know if that's true, but that's all I got. It's a surprising check for sure.
Will this be safe?
What was it okay?
Ultimately, it was not.
Wonka, who never opens up, no matter what time of the day it is or session, he just plays his ranges. That's why they call him the kissing bandit.
The what?
The kissing bandit.
I was the very
He
'Cause
steals.
he just plays his Rangers.
Yeah.
Didn't they give you a they gave the person who knocked you out a standing out?
Got it, Brittany? Yeah.
Because he doesn't steal people's chips. He only steals kisses. I don't know.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
nothing. It's getting weird.
That sounds like there could be criminal charges brought
Huh.
against him for these types of things.
Interesting point.
That 1 year.
Interesting point. I didn't think of it that way when I was saying it. Top for Todd.
Very displeased.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Really nothing for anybody else though.
And so the way the
Looks like Todd bet 200 into 145. That'll
if I was in a pot,
clear him out pretty
Yeah, well.
quick, I think.
and then
I guess if someone had King Queen, they'd feel obligated to call, but
faces would
maybe
be
King
looking
Jack.
at me, and it would go call.
Maybe. I mean, spades might call once,
That's not so bad.
but
No,
Todd protects his hand. I'll give him that.
You gotta make a hand.
Yeah.
When they
He's going to show everyone the Ace King. He likes showing his hands.
wow. The old
He does.
That's pretty good.
was like, I got one of the guys! And the whole room, like 1,000 women, stood up and cheered.
He's talking about one of the times he stole kisses.
Got him.
You know, and it
All
was,
these women cheering. So he's doing it with consent. I think it's clear there's consent.
I mean, and
Something to all hate at once.
Actually, he's telling the story of when he
I
busted
feel
the
like
women's
in that
event
moment,
at the World Series of Poker, actually, which he's played multiple times.
He has.
Yep.
Created in the rest of my life put together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think the only question is like, what's the multiple there? Is it like 5 times?
More collective.
Collective female happiness. Collective CFH.
The first time Nick provided
world
female happiness. That was pretty good.
Nick's got CFH.
The world needs a heel. Oh my god. The world needs a heel sometimes.
You know what CFH is?
You're a hero of women's
Yes, we do now.
Collective female happiness.
I know, we just got there.
1,000 women standing up and cheering. Nick finally gets some.
So Todd just called from the small blind with 4-3 off. I think it's important to point that out.
Ran for mayor.
Well, Chris opened the cutoff with 10 deuce.
Yeah, okay.
What's funny though?
That's better though, right? Anyway, Todd's leading with his
And-
open ender.
I have
Makes him feel better.
my friend D-Moon,
Ah.
Danny. She dresses me up. She
Yeah, you're still the favorite.
initially doesn't
Yeah, well,
help me.
like I predicted earlier, I think Todd might even be upping the VPIP knowing that the session is coming to an end relatively soon. Todd likes to make sure he gets his hands in there, I think.
She came
And that was a great example.
Yeah. He's like a great
Wait,
baker.
Danny did your makeup
You know, you got to
then?
get your hands in
Oh,
there,
I didn't know that. No wonder you look so good.
right?
You just wanted to hear yourself speak or something?
No,
That's
'cause
why you said that?
You need the dough. You get your hands in there.
Yeah, I know.
How does that
I
mean?
get it.
Liking to hear myself. You just everything's a shot with you. Everything has to be like an attack.
like if you're willing to dress in drag.
I don't like baker jokes, man.
we're on the same team. Don't you know this? We're fighting on the same
There
side
are
over
no
here.
teams. There's only one team, and it's my team.
You're not a threat.
They
Right.
didn't want to take
I'm saying we're both on that team.
If you're gonna do it,
Anyway, here's Wonka with Ace Queen. No one's
I will
raised.
destroy everybody.
It's time to raise it up. I think.
still kind of surprised, but it makes a little more sense.
60 maybe?
Maybe even a little more. He's in the small blind. Yeah, looks like 65. Indeed, a little more than 60. We are too good. See, we make a great collab.
Collab.
That's a YouTube comment. That's a YouTube phrase, industry phrase. Collab. Laminator really does have to call with the Jack 10 suited, I think.
Did I spread them right?
It's a pretty fair fight.
That flop is collabing with both of the hands
Yeah.
right now.
It really is.
It's really good when you can get a multi-way collab like that.
It's great for views.
Synergy, branding, user experience.
Laminator has the easy call. Oh, sorry. Laminator clicks it back to 110. Wonka's going to have an easy call here at least. Can't really imagine him re-raising, but it's Laminator, so he might. No, he's just going to call. Laminator might get himself a really cheap river card if he... What a card. What a card for Wonka.
Why is it a card?
Oh, he just picks up the nut flush draw.
No.
Just locks him in. Oh, he doesn't have clubs. Never mind.
No. Yeah, what are you talking
It's
about?
not a card for Wonka.
What are you talking about?
I thought he had ace queen of clubs. I don't know why. I don't know
It
why
does
I thought
improve
that.
Laminator. Laminator now is a gut
Does.
shot.
300, but Wonka probably can't fold on this card either, right? Like, Probably.
This is probably the worst hand that Wonka is obligated to continue with.
Right.
Ace Jack, you can start to consider folding.
You're really only losing to what? Pocket sevens here? Maybe pocket deuces?
Ace 7 and Ace Deuce.
Maybe. I don't even know if they're going to call the race pre, but maybe they are. Wonka does call. And, well, that makes it easier for Wonka. I mean, he's still losing to all the same hands, but he's never folding.
Yeah, I don't think you can fold now.
Makes less combos of A7 and Ace Deuce anyway. Sometimes you got to pay him off. Will Laminator bluff at this is the other real question. Looks like Wonka hasn't actually acted, though.
It's a pretty bad card to bluff on if you have one of your bluffs, which Laminator has one of his few bluffs on this board.
Yeah.
This is a tough card to get it through on. You're going to have to go big if you're going to bluff.
Yeah, you got to rep that sevens full. Or A7 suited. Sevens full makes more sense, right? Even though so I think you just got to rep it. But I agree. I think especially against Wonka, who's going to just play his distribution and say like, well, this hand's too good to fold, kind of a thing. I think he's probably just won't be able to get away with it. Because Wonka has like ace X of clubs and things like that, which also has to call the turn. Worse aces, which he can fold now.
Laminator could bet like 1,200. That might work.
That would at least be really tough for Wonka. But like a 650 ain't going to get it done against this hand. I don't know if 1,200 is going to get it done, but 650 definitely ain't. I don't think Laminator is going to do it. He started laughing there. I think that's him giving up. Yeah. Shaking his head. Yeah. Honestly, you do all that and then you bet really big. That might work too.
I was just thinking that if he went through that whole act and then bet 1,200, I'd be like, oh, he's got ace king here. Like he's got the nuts.
Yeah.
Didn't get there, buddy.
Probably a good decision by Laminator not to fire one more shell.
Good for him, but bad for us. I would have liked to see what would have happened.
Yeah, if he could have bet, like you're saying, a little more than the pot, some amount of a little more than the pot. Hey. Okay.
I believe that's a
Wonka.
picture of Wonka in the women's event at
Yep.
the World Series of Poker.
That is. So what happened was the first year he dressed up just like himself. And nice job, camera people. And the second year, and everyone hated him. The women were very upset with him and gave him a lot of vitriol. The second year he dressed up like a female, and they loved him and felt like he was on their side. So it was interesting.
I knew a girl with that.
That's when he became known as the Kissing Bandit.
You know, if you shave it, it takes years to grow back.
That's just such a creepy nickname.
There actually was someone called the Kissing Bandit who was famous back in the day. She went to baseball games and would run into the field and kiss baseball players. This is a real thing.
Huh.
This is like the 80s when apparently you could just do things like that. But it was real. Wonka with queens here. It's like a super straightforward 3-bet for him.
Is he asking me to spread them? Make it 155.
Raised to 155.
Should be getting action from Laminator, although we have seen Laminator fail to set mine in mathematically profitable set mining spots in the past on Poker Time. So he may not be calling.
So it's certainly, this is really, as you're implying, like a mandatory call in this spot. And he does
make
call.
the call. Okay.
Doesn't feel good, but once in a while you hit that sweet, sweet 7. Ooh, but once in a while
Well,
you have
that's the
flops
type
like
of flop
this.
that could get you in trouble.
Yeah.
A little bit of trouble.
It does have the backdoor flush draw. Sorry, straight draw. So that's something.
It's not much.
No, easy continue here for Wonka.
What do you think, like half pot on this board texture?
Yeah, maybe even a little more. 170, 180, something like that. Looks like he went a little smaller. He only bet 80.
He
Whoa.
bet 80.
I thought that was 150. Wow.
Another spade.
Nobody.
Wonka does have a spade. So
Something.
now there's one
Yeah.
out.
Will Wonka bet again? I don't know if he will. He may be worried about getting action now. But he bets
Yeah,
so
I don't
little
think
on
he's
the
worried
flop.
about having the... I don't think he's worried about being beat too much when Laminator doesn't check raise that size.
Yeah. The only thing he's really afraid of, I think, is an ace or a 4. That's a pretty safe looking card, as long as Laminator didn't have the 2 9s. Time to bet for value.
Yeah, and I think you should be targeting a hand like 7s, so
Yeah.
maybe you should go a little small.
200.
Maybe something like 180.
I was thinking 225, but less than half pot for sure. I mean, it's a tough spot for 7s if he bets either of those amounts, really. Looks like he went 225. Huh. Got him right that time. So what do you do as Laminator here, dude?
I think I'm mostly folding against Wonka. I think Wonka has a lot of superior hands to 7s with this line.
Yeah, when the spade comes on the turn and he checks, it doesn't mean he
Yeah.
does. He still has all the overpairs, as we can see. Yeah. The only thing, he rarely has a flush, but he can have very, very strong hands. And it wasn't like the pot was humongous. He may not feel a need to bluff, if he has ace high. Ace high is sometimes good. Rarely, but sometimes if he's got like ace king. I mean, I could have flopped 2 overs and a gut shot and called the flop, especially for 80. Is a pretty good price, but Laminator lets it go.
Good fold.
Yeah.
It's easy to convince yourself your opponent has ace king there because it's a lot more fun to hero call than to fold.
It really is. I certainly strongly prefer hero calling to folding. Most of the time. And you get to know.
Looks like it's time for an Omaha bomb pot.
I'm ready. I'm all juiced up.
Now this is a scenario. Omaha bomb pots are probably a scenario where you should really try not to hero call ever. That's probably
I don't know
good
about
lesson
ever,
for Omaha bomb pots.
but at least most of the time. How about that? There's got to be a few hero call spots where you have great blockers, you have a very strong hand, and the person has a rep of not just having the nuts. You can call there. You can hero them.
Sure.
But I hear you. But I agree with you overall. Like as a strategy, making a lot of like marginal calls probably not a great idea.
Well, we got
Todd.
trip 8s for Todd.
Yeah, that's most of the equity. Dan Ross has an open ender and backdoors.
Digital Dan also has an open ender and also a gut shot.
But
To a bigger straight.
Is anyone going to call on a paired board though with these draws?
Probably not.
Dan could consider.
I don't
'cause
think you should.
He also has the 9s, so he has like the extra 2 outs. But that's all. It could just be those 2 outs. Yeah. And 9s, of course, isn't the nuts anyway. It's just really, really strong. And Todd just takes it down and gets. The good news about Todd is when he has it, he lets you know, so you know you weren't bluffed.
Oh,
A flush backer. Or no.
just the nuts.
You didn't have the ace of spades.
I have any spades. I had one, I guess.
And we're back. Time for some Hold'em.
Yeah.
That very short Omaha hand was just too much for me. I need some Hold'em.
Ooh, Jake showing off his Antonio Esfandiari magician-like chip skills there. By
Making that beer disappear, too. That's another magician's skill.
I can do that, but not with beer. Mostly just with cream puffs.
Seems like minus EV to play it.
You could make a beer disappear. You just choose not to because of unknown reasons.
I don't know how to do it. I only know the cream puff trick.
I don't want to know what the cream puff trick is. That sounds like something for your OnlyFans.
We've got the kissing bandit. We've got the cream puff trick. It's been a bit of a blue episode for us. Anyway, Jake raises the ace jack of clubs. Laminator limped the queen 9, and here we go.
It's hard.
I'm ready for some blood.
Well, it's a 9 high flop, which means there probably won't be too much blood because not much else going on. Dan does have 5s, but that's not too comfortable on this board.
I mean, Dan would probably assume he's mostly either behind. Oh, Jake calls. He's got the 2 backdoors and the overs. It's relatively cheap, and he calls.
Done folding, and he just finished that beer, so let's see a turn card.
He's going to try and make Laminator's chips disappear now. Ooh, good card.
It is a club.
Also may slow Laminator down a little bit. Nope.
Nope.
Let's see how he sizes it, though. Sometimes he'll size very small in these spots.
50 cents a dollar. Or $1.
Looks like more than half pot.
160.
Yeah, 160. So as Jake, you could raise here. I don't hate a raise at all. I am concerned that Laminator has a lot of very strong hands. That's the reason not to. But we can rep an 8, and obviously if we improve to a flush, that's pretty sweet too if we get called.
It's not so bad, though, to call where we still have the ability to bluff the river. You know, we don't lose that ability. Like, if Laminator checks here, which he probably won't when he hits the queen. And Jake is going to be very, I suspect, unsuccessful getting a fold, but if Laminator checked, Jake probably would have had to take a shot, I think, on this card. I mean,
Well, Jake could raise now if he really wanted to go for it, but I don't expect to see that.
He'd be repping Jack 10. He's got the Jack blocker. It's not impossible.
I mean, it might work against Laminator's hand. Laminator definitely can't beat value if Jake raises.
I mean, if Jake has aces, he's losing. Would Jake raise aces? Probably not. So it's like
No.
queen, Jack 10.
Or an 8 that weighted to the river.
Ace 8 suited. Maybe 9-8 suited.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the hands that Jake could have. Jake at least is thinking about raising clearly. I can't imagine he's thinking about calling because he can only beat 6-7 and 10-7.
And he blocks clubs. So, yeah. Seems like only a raise if you're going to continue.
I like that Jake's thinking about it, you know, instead of just insta-folding his hand here. He like sees at least that there's it's with the Jack of clubs, or really just the Jack. It's not crazy to make this play. The board is paired. Sometimes you're going to get snapped. Oh, I'd love to see him pull the trigger here.
That would be cool.
How much? Okay, if he was going to do it, I guess it's all in. I guess he's only got 760 back. So this would be one of those he has to have it plays, right? Oh my gosh, he calls.
He calls.
Wow. Wow. That it didn't occur to me that was one of the possibilities.
I guess he's sitting there wishing he raised right now after he saw Laminator's hand probably.
Yeah, Laminator probably gets away from it for the last 460. He calls. So I guess he's thinking Laminator's got a lot of 6-7 or 10-7, right? What else could it be?
That's what you have to put him on.
Wow, that's a surprising call for sure. Here's the cumulative winnings so far. We say Jake is the big loser, down 1,500. Really throwing the party for everybody. Digital Dan the big winner, up 900. Laminator doing well. Chris doing well. But it's really, Jake brought the plates. He brought the forks. He brought the Kool-Aid, and he brought the food.
Not during the hand.
It's almost like that line from Rounders from Worm when he's like, you know that feeling you get when you're at the table, you got your napkin, you got your plates, you just need the steak. Although Matt Damon is the one who completed the line for him.
I don't even remember that anymore.
It's when he's basically saying like, I need you to give me money so I can go play in this game I just got out of prison.
Oh, right. I'm all set. I just need, I got all the moves. Yeah.
I'm sure I butchered the line, and I'm sure a bunch of Rounders fans are going to get mad at me, but whatever.
Yeah, it's
Life
fine.
goes on.
So Jake limps the 10-9 suited with $440 now back. No one has a very strong hand.
A friend named Tim.
Laminator's open-ended. Jake flops bottom pair and a gutter. I guess everyone's got a gut shot except for everyone's got a straight draw, I should say.
Well, now there's straights out there and 2 pair for Jake.
Yeah, one straight and it's Laminators.
One straight.
It checks
check
through,
around.
and Jake gets there on the end. Well, Jake should have a real shot to get the full double from Laminator here.
Are we talking about Tiny Tim?
Well, it's only 85 in the pot. It's hard to get the full double.
Well, Laminator bet though. Bets 100. Jake, I assume, is moving in for the 440, and is Laminator going to fold? Sort of sucks to be Laminator's spot. I can't imagine Jake isn't raising, though. I mean,
Yeah, you've got to raise this, Jake. The question is to go all in or to make it more like 300 or something.
I think he should. Oh, it looks like he is just going to raise small. 240, it looks like. Wow. Well, this has got to be called. Surely, if Jake went all in, Laminator could sort of make the case of, well, I'm just chopping anyway. The price he's getting here, 140 to win half of 425, even just if you're chopping. It feels like.
Are you ever winning? Are you ever winning?
I don't think so. I think you're literally never winning. But I think you have to put the 140 in. Do you agree?
I don't know if you do if you're never winning.
Yeah. You do get 200 and something dollars back.
Ask if we sold them door to door, but it's like a self-negating.
I guess it's less than that. You're putting in 140 to win like 140. Oh, and he just lets it go. Wow, Jake cannot get value. So
What
sick.
a great fold
Yeah.
by Laminator. Really great fold.
Well, that's the end of the session. So we'll see you next time on Poker Time.